Hi, hotties. Welcome back to the Real House Guest of North Hollywood. I am your host, Carson Frey. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. I'm having a weird week. It's definitely a weird week for me, but I don't know. Doing this podcast is fun. When I'm sad, I probably watch more Bravo. I play The Sims a lot when I'm sad too. So I haven't been playing Sims, just watching Bravo. That's the best thing about this podcast. It gives me what they say, take your broken heart and turn it into art. Well, my broken heart asked me to watch The Real Housewives pretty much every day of the week. So maybe I'm doing something. Hi. That was an intro. Okay, so I thought we'd start as usual with some little Bravo news. Okay. Real Housewives of New Jersey. How are we all feeling? Please comment wherever you listen or watch. Just blast your opinion of New Jersey. And if you are loving the season, please tell me why, because maybe I'm just not seeing something. I don't know. There are things to like I really like Dolores, and I just wish Jackie wasn't in the season, and Jennifer Aiden to me is just not the vibe at all. And I'm just over kind of her and Teresa. And I love Teresa. I love watching her, but it's just I don't know. It's not the vibe. And so we all knew they had no actual reunion this year. So they recently filmed I read it was a watch party essentially. And they had the women in 2 different rooms watching the finale and just reacting to it. They just had Dolores going back and forth. How on brand for Dolores that is. So funny. But yeah, I heard there was no drama. And it's just it's over. It's over. You know what else is over? Vanderpump Rules. It is over after all this crazy lawsuit stuff. How could it come back, honestly? And I'm watching Love Island. I know it's not Bravo, but it's still in the same Universal Family Network Peacock. Ariana's not coming back to Vanderpump Rules, guys. She's not doing it. And with Tom, so this week it came out. So today's Friday the 19th. Yeah, today's Friday the 19th when we're recording. It's going to come out on Tuesday. A lot could change. So this is where we're at right now. So I believe it was Tuesday, it came out that Tom was countersuing Ariana with the whole Raquel lawsuit thing. Remember they talked about that at the reunion? And so essentially Tom is countersuing her basically for going through his phone. And yeah, you heard that right. Isn't that crazy? Tom is suing Ariana. And then he deleted his Instagram when it came out, and so did Victoria. And the next day he posted a statement saying I was ill-advised by my lawyer. I didn't understand it would be a new lawsuit. I thought it was just a standard thing that was very usual. And yeah, he said he had no idea, which honestly I kind of believe. Tom Sandoval is an asshole, but he's more stupid than anything, really, from all my years watching the show. Yeah, he's more stupid than anything. And so I kind of believe him on that, honestly. But it's just yeah, I cannot believe and the fact that he deleted his Instagram multiple times. And then I saw he just changed it to Thomas Sandoval, thinking he's too connected with the word Tom. Yeah. And then other lawsuit news. So Chef Penny is suing Katie and Ariana. Ariana's lawyer is working overtime. I mean, after this week, but there's a podcast called The Bravo Docket. They break all this stuff down way better than I ever will for you. So I'm really excited to hear, listen to their version of what this is. I don't think it has any validity to it from what I've heard. Mauricio, Kyle Richards. Are we going to have to say Kyle Richards' ex-husband eventually? That is so sad. her estranged husband Maurizio is seen kissing another woman coming off the airport. And honestly, when I saw the photos, I felt like I saw my parent, like my dad cheating on my mom. That's how I felt. Like I kind of wanted to cry. It really, it really made me sad. I do want to give a congrats to the Vanderpump editors, which last week on the pod, I went on a little mini rant talking about how good the Bravo editors are. Look, this week, they're getting all these editing nominations, so congrats to them. All right, so this week, we're going to break down OC in Dubai, because obviously it's the best things on. I watch everything, so you don't have to. Dubai and OC are what's worth your time right now. We're in a like weird Bravo lull after like Vanderpump, The Valley, Summer House, like so much was happening. So it is feeling a little lullish. Let's talk. Okay. Let's talk about OC first. So it kind of just picks up where we left off at the party. And Alexis is all annoyed that Shannon is saying it's about the lawsuit. Like, Shannon's like, it's about the lawsuit. I don't care about John. Like, she's kind of playing it that way. And it's like, girl, it's about John Jansen. You don't care about. I mean, I get that she cares about the lawsuit, but John Jansen. Jennifer talks about how her kids are moving in with Ryan. And Gina kind of explains at the party she's so pissed. She vouched for her. And what she means by that is Jennifer didn't have to do a credit check. You know, like all of the hoops of moving in when they like check your credit, check all your money, check that you can pay your bills. That whole thing didn't happen because Gina vouched for her, and it really fucked over Gina. And we get really into it. And I want to know where you guys all stand on this, but I think I'm Team Gina. And then Shannon and Alexis are trying to like just not talk, but Alexis can't like shut the fuck up ever. And they get into it across the room, and they're finally eating. And they have this, Heather has this little teeny, like, it's like a chip. It's not even a chip, though, with, like, some dip on it. And Gina looks starving. Like, she's looking at it, and they all look like, I need food. Is OC kind of like Beverly Hills in the sense, like, they don't eat? Alexis then says her friendship goal is to be amicable with Shannon. Such bullshit. Like, I'm not a Shannon Bedore fan, but I'm not picking up what Alexis Bellino's putting down either. Like, I don't know. And just the way Alexis is talking about her relationship and the sex, like, she's just trying to get under Shannon's nerves. And it feels a little, like, really, really planned. It's not like she's like, oh, I'm accidentally talking about the sex with Shannon's ex and she overhears. No, she's like wanting Shannon to hear, which is so crazy. So crazy. I need someone who's like really seen every season of Orange County multiple times to like talk to me about Alexis Bellino, because I've seen it, but I need to talk. Or maybe I'll just go back and watch everything. That'd be crazy. And then Shannon's just clearly uncomfortable with like the way Alexis is going in, so she gets up, and then Tamara goes in after her, and then Tamara's just going after her, not to like check in on her, to go after her as well. Like, what? It's so crazy to me because like I have some friends who have shown Ultimate Girls Trip, Traders, other stuff where they see Tamara and then they see her in Orange County and they're like, that's a different person. It is. It's totally a different person. And then we see Gina in her like real estate agent era, so after the party ends and stuff. New scene. And I see it. I would buy a house from Gina if I could ever buy a house. And then we see Jennifer, Shannon, and Katie go for a walk, like a California hike walk. Katie's a sports journalist. I didn't know that. That's like honestly so interesting. I wish they would have like blogs would have picked that up. Like, I don't know. Katie, you can see she's just trying to like feel out the group, see who likes who, what the deal is. And then that's when Gina opens up that she lost this huge deal because of her reputation being damaged because of Jen not paying her rent. And then Katie then talks about how she was adopted from Korea by an all-white family and like growing up and what that means, and she was married. Like, I really love Katie on Orange County. I really do. She seems like she has some edge, and she can just like, you know, like go in. Like, she seems tough, which I need that in a housewife. I cannot have a weak housewife. But she's also interesting family, interesting backstory. Yeah, like I'm down with it. And then her teenage daughter, so she's Korean, adopted by a white family. And then obviously her daughter's Korean. Her daughter taught herself Korean. Like, you have, I think, the coolest kid like ever. Like, that is so cool. Learning a language is so hard. And I know it's easier when you're younger, but especially when it's a language you don't hear a lot. Like, props to you. So then we see Gina, Shannon, and Alexis go work out. Shannon then opens up about the program she does and how it really helped her. And she opens up to Gina and empathizes. And it's honestly like, I think a healing moment. I hope it was real. I hope that was like a real thing between them, not like bullshit. And okay. The thing is with Shannon, she's a big old mess. Messy, messy, messy. But she's finally kind of being a little honest. And there's something interesting about someone who is just finally being honest and they're that messy about their life. I don't know. Then we see Tamra. So her fake storyline. I swear, Tamra is the queen of fake storylines. Her and Melissa Gorga. So she's like, oh, me and Eddie bought a house in Big Bear. Eddie wants to live there full time, but I have to do 50-50. So I think that's going to be her fake storyline, that he wants to move full time to Big Bear, but they're 50-50. I can never tell if Tamara's a good friend or a bad friend. I think she's a bad friend, but I don't know. Then we see Jen and Ryan at home now that Jen has moved into Ryan's house, and they're just playing house. And Ryan's talked about how he's lived in this house for 6 years by himself. Why is he living in this huge house by himself? Like, what? Oh, and then we meet Jen's parents. They are so sweet. Love them. Obsessed with them. And, like, Jen is such an interesting housewife as well, because she is what the show is about, like not having everything, but the face of it, pretending. And that's kind of what the season, I think, is going to be about. Then we see Shannon and Heather go out to dinner. So then Heather confronts Shannon about last season, saying Tamara said that Shannon and her were going to go up against Heather at the reunion. And then she gets mad. Yeah, I don't know. And then Katie and Gina and Emily go to lunch, and they just do it to talk shit about Jen's eviction. Like, that's it. And then Jen and yeah. And they go out to lunch and talk shit about her eviction. And I don't know. The episode kind of really ends with this scene between Gina and Jen. And it's immediately aggressive, but I get Jen's point of view of like, why are you coming at me? I'm the one being evicted. Why are you kind of making this about me? But also no. Like, you do need to hustle, girl. And like, being a reality star is not a career. Like, you need a career like Gina's doing or something. Because yeah, it seems like Jen waits for a man to take care of her. I hate to say that, but that's like who she's shown us she is. And then Gina saying, no, don't do that. I'm not that way. And I get it. She did fuck up Gina's reputation. So I don't know. Team Gina. Let's talk Dubai, the beauty and the beggar is the episode. Dubai is heating up, y'all. If you're not watching Dubai, like, you should. Okay. I will say about Dubai, I don't know what production company does this, but there's way too much B-roll at the beginning. Like, it is I think there's a full 3 minutes of B-roll. Just like first scene. You get 30 seconds, like max. Not like multiple minutes. Okay, so we're seeing Ion getting ready for her makeup event. We see her family. Her son's modeling on the show, so it's a fashion show for her makeup. Like, only Ion, like anyone else, I'd be like, this is so dumb. But it's honestly like so. It's when someone is being authentic to themselves, it just comes off. It reads. Because there are other people in the show who I wouldn't say are authentic. And I just love like her son's in the fashion show. Stanberry is so annoyed at Sarah at the beginning for like the fight before. And then Taylene is just like confused of like how it's a makeup party, but it's also not. It's a fashion show, but it's like, girl, just get with it. Like, we are in Ion's world, just like live in it. And I cannot believe Lisa came late. And then Brooks even later. Like, what? And I get there must be crazy traffic in Dubai, but it's a little rude. And then Taylene's husband tries to say hi to Brooks, and like, it's super awkward. And like, Brooks is making it awkward. Brooks gives me like, do you guys remember Dana Wilkie from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? And she still is like very thirsty. She reminds me of her. Then Taylene and Sergio see each other, and or not Taylene, Sarah. I always mix Sarah and Taylene up. Sarah and Sergio see each other, and then Sarah talks about how she wants to work on the friendship with Brooks. And it's kind of weird. It's funny because like Sergio's so young too, so I'm like, he's closer in age with like some of these women than his wife. Brooks and Taylene start going off at each other, but like Brooks comes in and she apologizes. She goes, I'm sorry. Stanberry says another thing about wanting to see Ion's real age. I think what I didn't like, I loved it, but like what was so hard about this episode is Brooks is just pushing and pushing and pushing. It's like every second it's like, okay, Brooks, stop. Like it's that. So it kind of cuts to Sarah introducing she wants to introduce the German into her family, which I know she talked about how it's like Arab culture, that's normal, but it seems fast. Okay, Lisa, Sarah, and Brooks all meet for lunch. Brooks said Taylene is a beggar, and she's basically insinuating that like she begged her to be on the show. She's only on the show because of Brooks, which comes up later, and I think this is going to be a big plot point this season. Ion then has a picnic with all her siblings, which I love. I would love a spinoff about like just more about Ion, more about her life. Could we do like a travel show with Ion and have her like show us Africa, show us the Middle East, like tell us stories? Like that would be so cool. And she talks about like her female circumcision, which that's the thing about Ion is she is funny, she's witty, and she has like this trauma that she experienced that it's something I honestly didn't know a lot about until watching Dubai. So I feel like I learned a lot from her. I am learning from her like every time I watch her, but then she says the funniest thing or wears the prettiest outfit or just has the best makeup. Like she is truly a housewife. Then all the girls Lisa has date night with her husband and she like breaks down about needing help at home. And does Lisa have a nanny or like a driver? Because she talks about how these boys go to football 5 times a week. Like if y'all are so rich, hire some people to help you or stop cosplaying as rich because it seems like it's too much. Okay. Lisa, then they all hang out and Lisa's like, I don't see why everyone loves Stanberry, which I kind of love that Lisa like hates Stanberry and like stands on it. Well, she doesn't stand on it. Oh, then Lisa tell the women what Brooks said about the beggar thing, and because they were like, that's why Brooks apologized to her. It was about the beggar comment. Clearly, Taylor never heard that comment. It was clearly the first time she heard it on camera, and it like, yeah, that would make me mad too. But then they all kind of get ready for Caroline's party, which, like, if you haven't watched the episode, it feels like, okay. But then you get to Caroline's party, you're like, okay, here we go. They're all kind of getting ready. Brooks, she is wild. She is wild because she walks into this party with sage everywhere, up and down, lit. Like, she walks in with a fire hazard. No, I'm not kidding. Like, she walks in with a fire hazard. And also, it's so completely rude. It's not your home. You don't know, like, what smells they're trying to go for. What if, like, she had all these candles going and, like, she just ruined Caroline, like, Stanberry's vibe. Like, I cannot. And also, she brings a +1 and didn't tell Stanberry, and it's a sit-down dinner. Like, that is so not cool. Again, poking. That's what she does all episode. And Caroline starts giving a toast, and Sergio immediately interrupts her. And then he, like, kind of got up and, like, you know, had her stand down. And then Ion chimes in. She goes, well, she paid for the house. Like, tell her to stand up. And then he goes, what'd you say, Ion? And then Lisa chimes in and was like, it looks like Valentine's Day. Oh, so, and then all the women have confessionals. They were like, Caroline's friend Michael's the one who pays for the house. And then they were all like, yeah, he gets drunk and tells us, like, he pays all Stanberry's bills, which I hope that's a storyline this season. Who's paying Stanberry's bills? Brooks is then, so they're at the dinner table, and Brooks is, like, talking to Sarah, and she's like, Taylene is, like, right there, and she goes, fake, and it's, like, right there. And then Taylene's like, what's up, girl? And she goes, I'm not talking to you. I cannot with Brooks. Like, I cannot with her. She gives me, honestly, Sandoval vibes. And she's a gaslighter throughout the whole episode. She is a gaslighter. She was poking the bear. Ion does bring up the fact that Taylene did switch. I don't think Taylene's all innocent. I do think she switched it up on Brooks, but the way Brooks is going about it is way more telling of her character than Taylene's. And Taylene and Brooks are just like arguing. My least favorite thing to happen on The Housewives happened. A husband got involved. And I honestly don't like how he went about it at all. Actually, I was going to find something nice to say because I don't know if you guys noticed, but my vibe for the podcast is to, like, be fun, be funny. You can be a little cunty, but not too bitchy. Very Charlie XCX. But, like, I try to be kind is my point. But, like, a man coming at a woman, never like that. But he was also trying to stand up for his wife, which I do like as well. But the way he went about it, I don't think it was right. And then, so they're going. And they're like, you know what? This is too much. So they walk away. They, like, go to the backyard. They're, like, trying to come down. And then Brooks just comes up to them. She's like, this is why you need to quit drinking. This is why, da-da-da-da. And it's just like, it's too much. It is too much. And he tells her to shut the fuck off and goes up. And you know it's a good episode of Housewives when you see production background. Like, the camera angles, like, there's stuff going on in the foreground, background. Like, producer Ezra watched it with me. He'd be like, look at the directing. So, yeah, crazy episode. I mean, like, it's good episodes this week, but if you're, like, someone who tuned in for Bravo for, like, Scandival, Salt Lake City finale, it's not quite that. But we might get there again one day. Guys, make sure you follow the podcast. We are on You can listen to the big podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, on iHeartRadio, which someone does listen to it on iHeartRadio. Like 1% of my listeners does. So whoever's listening on iHeartRadio, I love you. I put it on there for you. You can listen on YouTube. We have a TikTok, which is just sometimes me ranting about stuff I don't talk about on the podcast or clips of the podcast. But interact, share. I love you. Okay. This was a chaotic episode. I love you. Bye.